Welcome to this course on Networking Essentials for Complete Beginners. My name is Syed and I will be the instructor for this course. I've been in the training industry for a little over 20 years, and although I teach Java, PHP, and advanced programming languages, but this course is just the basics of what networking is all about. Here's Module 1. The course introduction and agenda, will cover that first, and then I'm going to talk about what is networking. This course has about 24 lessons in total. So I'm going to walk you through the very basics of what networking is all about and also demonstrate all along the way. For example, when we get to the TCP/IP section, I'm going to demonstrate various commands and so on. So I've structured this course in such a manner so that it's not only concepts but also their applications, so it's easier to learn and understand as well. Here's Module 1, simply the course agenda and the introduction, and then Lesson 2 is about networking. In Module 2 there are 4 lessons. I'm going to talk about what is a local area network, understanding various network topologies or designs. Then we'll get into the Internet Protocol or IP addresses, concept of subnetting, very important concept in the world of networking, and I'll demonstrate how to create subnets and what they are. Moving forward in Module 3, also 4 lessons, we'll talk about the OSI model. Once again, a very fundamental model in the networking industry, and I'll demonstrate what each of these layers are, what they mean, what they represent, and how does it work. So for example, if you were to send out an email to something or a message from one computer to another using a certain medium, whether it's a cable or wireless and whatnot, how does the actual data packets travel from the very OSI model? So I'll talk about what that is. Then we'll get into network cabling. So I'll demonstrate different types of cables. Networking tools, in other words, if you were to go out there and actually go ahead and create cable jacks or RJ45 and how to use the crimper tool and so on. So I'll demonstrate what those physical tools are and how to use them. And then wireless networks, I'll talk about how they work, which medium they use, and how fast they are. Module 4 is all about the IP version 4 and IP version 6. So this is where we'll get into more deeply of what the Internet Protocol is all about. 99% of the networks today, they still use the IP version 4, even though IP version 6 is out there. So I'll demonstrate what the differences are between these two different versions. Module 5, moving forward, we'll take a look at the TCP/IP commands and understand what these commands do and what they mean. So I'll demonstrate and I'll use several TCP/IP commands using the command prompt. And then I'm also going to demonstrate the advanced TCP/IP commands so that you're fully comfortable working within the command line. Module 6 is understanding DHCP, which is basically a service that assigns an IP address to your computer dynamically. So I'll talk about that once we get to the lesson. Next, I'm going to talk about the remote desktop services, how to use them, what they are. I'll also detail out the internet and the www. So how does that work? What happens when you see a URL, for example? What is a uniform resource locator? How do you navigate on the internet, and so on? What is a VPN, which is a virtual private network? How does that work? A router, the functions of a router, for example, that's a physical device. Understanding hubs and switches, these are also physical devices. And different operating system platforms, such as Linux, for example, Windows, Mac OS, and so on. And Module 7 is network intrusion. So what happens when someone attacks your network, for example, the very basics. How does that work? How do you stop it? How do you identify it? And then all about firewalls, how to put up your security within your network. And finally, in Module 8, we will simply recap the course. So once again, the entire objective of this course is just to get you familiarized with everything that you need to know about the networking world, including devices, commands, and concepts, as well as applications. So I welcome you to this course, and let's move on to the next lesson.